Further up, still another tower. So we'll save the great views till I get up there. When I'm done here, I'll walk over to the lake somewhere and just cruise back up to my lake, if you will, which is up here to the north. There, that three-pronged building that you see there, behind that green one, is where I was at Jingshan, totally confused bus or metro terminal. So I must be up here somewhere at Jingshan. Some impressive buildings on the skyline, so I'll just telephoto and pick each of them up, starting with the one I was just talking about. Megalithic looking building. A huge complex of buildings dwarfing the large ones in front of it. I think that's the Cultural Arts Performance Building. Of course, here we have an overview of the Royal Forbidden City. Looking at it from, of course, the north end. Very clearly you can see the linear design of all such complexes in China, apparently. Intentionally so. To create consistency and predictability in this huge country is the theory. Okay, Jinshang Park is where we're at right now. In fact, probably standing about right where the A is in park. And we're looking to the west, and there are the lakes. A little bit northwest, you can see them. And they arc up that way. You can see a little chunk of lake over there. And going on up to the north here. Another pretty building on the way down. I mean, my way down. This southwest gate area represents a very pretty element in the park. These are all done with pots so that in the wintertime they just get them out of there and probably grow them in greenhouses so they're ready when the spring comes. Easily the match of any I've seen in the world. Notice how pretty that looks with the dappled sun on that brilliant green. Here's one of the fun ironies of travel. One of the first couple of days I was here, I got lost and ended up here, very lost. And somewhere behind me, I'd gone in and to a blind alley and got a little rickshaw type thing to carry me to these lakes where we're going right now, and he took exactly the route that I'd started to take and then backtracked on. Now I know that I can safely take that trip, that same route, and get to where I want to get. What an irony. This is the moderate element, in other words mid-size if you will, of the recycling. That big bag's filled with plastic glass bottles, and the truck's filled with cardboard, which will be recycled somewhere. It's fun to visit these lakes again. So pretty. These ladies down here are giving massages. I walked up behind the lady in the red hat on and I started giving her a massage. They all thought that was pretty cute. And I did too. This may be the Silver Ingot Bridge, but I don't think so. nevertheless, very pretty, very touristy, but very pretty area. Apparently, you can get a kayak here somewhere. I'm looking like a perfect tourist right now, videotaping this only to show you how absolutely commercial it is. Hardly what the Hutongs look like. Here's a particularly pretty part of the lake, shaded by these lovely trees. That pagoda-like building on the other side. Boats. A bit of low-tech fishing. I don't see any European tourists over on this walkway, which is so pretty. They're all over on the next street over to a rickshaw, riding the bicycle rickshaws. I mean, literally a line of maybe 20 or 25 at a time from the tour buses, I suspect. And one of those funky old poling boats. Now, if I lived here and was well heeled here, that would be a lovely little boat to own with a little motor on it. Just enough to putt around the lake, particularly when I get to the point where I can't do it by walking. Wouldn't take that much to hire a chef and have dinner on the boat. Here, a cute little refuge for the birds. This looks like a cross between a mallard and something. Right now I'm moving southeast along the south side of Huhai. I want to get down into mansion of Prince Gong. And I notice this little park here that I'm panning the residences around it, which is an ideal location, I think. Only thing that would be more ideal is if they actually had a view, and maybe they do, of the lakes themselves, but it doesn't seem like they could from here. I'm on the other side of this pretty little park area, right next to the lakes, and I think surrounded by residences, so a very tranquil residential area. I'm trying to work my way through to a Hutong that'll get me over to the interior, away from the lake a little bit. See if I can succeed. It looks like I'm approaching something. I want to be moving to my left. It looks like there's something moving to the left up here. This looks like a pretty heavily used Hutong road. Nice area, of course. Here, oftentimes you can check the street signs for residences, and this is the beginning of exactly the street I want to be on. Here, these little rickshaws actually are carrying some local people, I think. Here, a nice little parklet.